Hello, my beautiful, magical, mystical viewers. Welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions with me, Marianne, and welcome to your June readings. I'm so happy about June, I could just burst because let me tell you, I had a lot of trouble with my technology last month of May, and it wouldn't let up. And I know, and by the way, as I speak, we are still in the Mercury retrograde till tomorrow. Today's June 2nd. And quite frankly, I did the first video yesterday. Long story short, I was never able to upload the entire month the video of Pisces. So I started with Pisces yesterday, and we're on the beautiful, fiery, very exciting time for Aries, my future time for today, on the guidance and the messages that are coming through. So lots to be said. And I just want to say it took a full day to upload yesterday, so I'm going to keep plugging along, but I know very, very well, I feel it, I'm 100% on this. Everything's going to get back to the normalcy as far as technology for me, and, you know, just forward movement after this retrograde actually does station direct, but it takes a little while. Like tomorrow I anticipate, like I pretty much do every Mercury retrograde, there's going to be a lot of changes I won't know about, or you need to be flexible. My schedule at work is, you know, it's sort of laughable, but my coworker, we just compared notes, same thing, a lot of people, and that's going to be finished. So that makes me feel good. I can take a deep breath. I hope you can as well. Maybe you haven't even noticed, Aries, and I'll tell you why, because this is your time. We had the benevolent, masculine, expansive, good luck, opportunity, you know, just incredible things that come along with Jupiter. And it's optimistic, and it's really, you know, and it's just very noteworthy type of things that happen. And it happens every 12 years in each one of our signs, and it entered your sign on May 10th, the very day that Mercury went retrograde on May. So it's been there for not quite a month, but it's definitely settled in, and it's feeling good. And then of course we had Mars, your ruling planet, the fiery masculine ruling planet, enter into your sign as well, Aries, which you're very, very comfortable with. You know, you're very familiar with that energy and that leadership and that gusto and the you know, the power that you can exude and feel, and it just feels very right to you, even with the Mercury retrograde. And that entered last Saturday, I believe. Yeah, so that's going to be that way, I think, through July. Oh, I'm missing the date. I apologize, but it'll be there for a while. So that's pretty cool. And then the Sagittarius full moon that's happening on the 14th in a couple weeks is a beautiful, positive, harmonious energy as a fellow fire sign. And you know, the ruling planet of Sagittarius is Jupiter. So I think there's a lot of fun that's coming. And I think the main thing I want to say, because there's always my tags that I have for my channel, I say uplifting spiritual tips for everybody. And that would be to just recognize your limits, recognize maybe the incentive to want to lose it a little bit, maybe, because you know you don't want to put up with anything that's standing in your way of your happiness and your well-being and so forth. And you're, if nothing else, you're going to notice that there's more of this anxious kind of, you know, combative energy, I guess, for lack of a better word to say it. So everything's a little harder to say for me during the Mercury retrograde, but you get the idea. I say, if you feel, the tip is, if you're feeling this way and you're feeling like you, first of all, you always want to remove yourself from situations that really don't have anything to do with you. You're just a victim of circumstance. You just happen to be in that area. But also, it's a great thing to just get that exercise going, because I know that a lot of Aries that I know, and fire signs in general, they like to get exercise into their life because it helps them to release, as it does everybody, particularly though fire signs. It really is true. And you may have wanted to start a new regimen, and if you haven't started yet, but you've been thinking about it, I see it very clearly as happening after this retrograde. In fact, travel also is associated with this full moon. So if you haven't planned your vacation, I can almost promise you, you've got some staycays coming up, and maybe the big vacation you haven't had for many years now, like a lot of us. is on the docket. So that's very, very positive. And I'll mention lastly that the new moon at the end of the month on the 28th is in Cancer. And we are in Gemini season. The Mercury retrograde started in Gemini. That's the third house. That's our communication. And of course, when Mercury ruled Gemini, or Mercury, who's also Mercury ruled, when that happens, it just really kind of puts a kibosh on a lot of things, because it slows the clarity of the mind, you know. And many Geminis I know are very, very fast and quick and very good at communicating. Their teachers, they're all about connections, you know, and getting together and having friends and doing all sorts of things. They're mutable. They like to do this. They like to accept all sorts of things, learn all sorts of things, and then pass it on to other people, help them out, you know. And like I said, they're witty and fun, and that's going on. So, but then the Cancer is all about the emotions and the heart, the home, things that matter to you at home, maybe fixing up your home, getting another home, adding to your home in some way or another. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that with Jupiter being in the sign of you, Aries, is directly connected with and in conjunction with your polar opposite sign of Libra. And Libra is all about love. Venus ruled Libra, relationships, all types of love. You know, that's what I do emphasize with my love connections, is it's all types of love. And romance is of course a part of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot more romance in your life right now, and fiery, passionate kind of intimacy that may have been missing before. Bring it on with that Mars in there. I mean, why not? You know, I remember, I vaguely remember, in relationships where, you know, you have your ups and downs and everything, and then all of a sudden you get this peak and you reach another level, and you're like, wow, I didn't even know that was possible after all this time. It's possible. And also with the eclipse energies, oh my gosh, they're still going to be affecting us for another 6 months or longer. So the two that have happened, and they always run in pairs and will continue to be the same two, were the, you know, the solar eclipse that happened at the end of April, last day of April, in Taurus. And that's the money sign, the Venus ruled sign as well, the passion, the sensualities, you know, the grounding our ideas and planting the seeds for long-term investments of all forms, you know, relationships, money, yourself, you know, investing in yourself. Your self-worth comes up with the second being the full moon that happened, the blood moon, the very super moon they call it. It was very close to Earth. It was huge and very, very potent, with it being in the sign of Scorpio, which is all about transformation. And I know everybody transforms their entire life. There are just certain times in our lifetimes that it's way more prominent, and it's just absolutely set up to guide us in a new direction. And that's exactly what's going on now. And I love that you understand yourself. You're the first sign of the zodiac. You're like a child. You want to try things all the time. It's not that you can't stay in one position or one place. I've known many Aries that have stayed in a job for many years at the same place. But within that job, I think things can be tweaked and changed. And I think that's something you really like. And I think you're ready to pursue a new angle or something revolving around just that, your ideas, your new intentions, your inventions, your relationships. So it's really, really exciting. So even though this last, 3 weeks plus with the shadow period has been a little bit disconcerting, like it can be with Mercury retrograde, it doesn't stop our lives. And it may not even really have affected you as much as it has other signs. And I'm excited for you. So I'm going to start by picking your love connection reading. As I mentioned, of all different types, Spirit wants me to pick right in front of you. This particular sign is going to be of influence for you during June and maybe longer. And know that if it isn't a person you're aware of, that time frame I speak about, I'll mention as it comes up, okay? So if it's not a person you're with now, it's somebody that could absolutely be coming into your life, or it's somebody you know and you weren't aware that that's when their birthday was or what sign they were, through work or friendships, family, what have you. So let's pick that right away. Spirit, please, as always, help me with the guidance of this beautiful love connection for the sign of Aries, and the highest good for all involved. Right off the table, there's that powerful energy coming through. You represent the Emperor, and that's all about seriousness. Now, it's on the other side, so I can't do that, but it is Scorpio. One more time. Gemini. Well, you're feeling the Gemini energy. You have been feeling this retrograde, because retrograde is about, it was, I should really refrain that. It started in Gemini. It went back into Taurus, which is where it is right now this past week. And it'll go forward again tomorrow in Gemini through July. It's a long stay because of the retrograde. And I'll tell you, I love the energy and the elements of fire and air together. They work extremely well. It's about definitely passion, but it's about motivation, movement, you know, changing, leadership as well, as because that's what you do. You know, you're a cardinal sign. You start things, you make them happen. You get those ram horns and you just push forward. Sometimes impulsively, I'm not going to lie. And I would say that you have an equal match with Gemini as far as impulsivity. So that kind of works for you too. I find this to be a very much fun aspect. There's a lot of beautiful communications that can come from that. And remember, that's the fellow air sign to Libra. So maybe something involving, you know, an important relationship for sure is what I'm feeling from this right off the bat. Now, this is happening right now. We're in the season. It started May 20th through June 21st. So yeah, you're either with a Gemini, know a Gemini, you will be meeting a Gemini, you're in the Gemini energy and you're feeling it. You may have Gemini in your own chart, or you're just thinking and kind of wanting to, you know, see all sides of situations and have that communication and those conversations and fun, you know, fun. Gemini's fun, okay? And I know you like fun, Aries. So keep that in mind. Let's see if it's significant with your reading. Speaking of the reading, what I'm doing this month, which I've done maybe once, is I'm picking the cards impromptu the moment that I start my video for each sign, because I'm going to get that, just that impulsive, if you will, you know, intuitive hit. So I will start, I'm going to do this. This is definitely you. I like to pick the Tarot divination, and I've picked the Queen of Tarots. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be a queen. It doesn't mean you have to be a female. It has no gender association whatsoever. But what it does mean is that you are definitely have the feminine quality in you. And after an amazing amount of, and with an amazing amount of masculine energy, thank you to you, you still have that ability to pick up and sense with the, certainly Venus Libra connection that's happening, as I mentioned. And even more so, just going with your intuition, your gut. That's what we're doing for you right now. I will secondary that with a beautiful oracle deck. And I'm going to definitely, I'm going to go the Super Tractor Manifestation deck. I haven't brought it out in a long time. I used it for like a year, but I have it for a while. So I'm going to bring that back out, because I'm all about manifestations, and I think you are too. And this is a crucial time for you to do that. And to really take it home, whatever you do this year, whatever opportunities do come up, you're going to notice it for 12 years or longer afterwards. So this is a phenomenal time. And I do finish with the Rune, which is another oracle. So I do want to also clarify if I need to, and I will do that and pick that in a moment. But as far as the reading goes, this is kind of my format. I'm going to do the 4 weeks of the month of June. And what energies are coming out. Hopefully, you'll resonate and understand right off the bat. If not, give it some time, because as I said, the powerful energies that took place in May are going to be with us for a while. And as well as, you know, Jupiter in your sign, Aries, because it went in on the 10th of May. It'll go out back into Jupiter for a little stint, the end of October, the 28th, and then going through December, I believe the 20th. I could be mistaken, but, and it goes back into your sign until next May 16th, 2023. It's on for you, man, and you must be feeling it, and thank you, because I personally, I have an Aries moon. I need that. I need that thrust of just this incredible energy, and at the same time wanting to balance, like you would get the energy from the Libra, because you don't want to overexert yourself and set yourself back at all, okay? Just saying. Now I'm going to pick the four cards representing the 4 weeks of the month. The first one being this week, and that will be Cards are acting up a little bit. For you, it's going to be, ooh, the Four of Pentacles. Now, this is not something that this has come up a lot. Let me stick with the positive, not the negative. Four of Pentacles, okay? So coming into June, no doubt because of May and some of the things that maybe didn't go forward that you thought, like with myself and so many people, you know, people were rescheduling or something came up and they weren't feeling well. So you plan and kind of expect a certain amount of money. It's written down, you know, and you're thinking, oh, that'd be good. And then lo and behold. However, I think it was compensated in other ways that were magical for you, number one. And number two, it's just, it's okay to be a little bit more conservative. That Taurus energy, which is the money sign now, they're very, very capable and very understanding of how to manage money and don't let it manage you. And to be a little more conservative, okay? Just putting it straight out there. That's not something that's normally your, you know, your modus operandus, but it's certainly something you can do for the sake of your, I don't know, feeling comfortable, secure, stable, until, you know, things pick up even more so, which they will, almost to a point where you're like, whoa. But as far as money goes, I'm sure you won't mind, and you can always invest it in the proper things, which is another thing that represents, as I said, Taurus, because they are about, you know, long term. Looking into that would be very wise, especially with communications clearing up, talking to the correct people, getting the right information and not so much of a mix-up like we've had. But also remembering not to get too caught up in this feeling of, oh, you know, this is it. That's that limitation kind of feeling, the scarcity. That doesn't work with the law of attraction well, okay? It makes sense. I've done it. We all do it. But the best you can, just remember, there's always enough. Go into what you're doing. Show up. Take care of yourself. Work from your heart. Be genuine like you are. And magic just appears. It just does. It always works itself out. So that's interesting. That's one of the first things. That is a pentacle, which is a coin, which is, you know, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Now, I will mention that Pluto went retrograde at the beginning of May? Another instantly lost, you know, recollection, which was there during the May readings. But that's okay. It'll be through October, I want to say 5th. And this is about that transformation. I mean, that Scorpionic, ruled by Pluto, the Scorpio sign, is the deepest kind of transformation that's within, you know, that has to be recognized. It's critical, it's harsh, it's hard sometimes. But when you get to the bottom, you're really truthful, and truth comes out in this last month and onward with these two in particular, these signs, which you like. You are welcoming truth. I know this about you. You're very authentic and you love to be truthful yourself. And so does Sagittarius with that moon. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of things, but I lost my thought completely. Basically, just know the truth will come out. So if you're interested in maybe finding out the best solutions or best ways to invest your money, just go with your gut, okay, and trust your intuition, because you do have it. I don't think Aries gets as much credit for that intuition, but you absolutely are intuitive, and utilize that for the best, for your highest good. So second week, now that's going to be approaching that full moon, that beautiful full moon, and you have the Four of Cups. So we've got two fours. Interesting. 4 normally is the number of stability. You know, the 4 wands, especially in the fire sign, you know, that the 4 walls that help us and stable us and, you know, keep us feeling, you know, at least in this material 3D world, that we have, you know, something we can bite our teeth into, you know, we have that stability, as I said, and that's kind of a man-made in the spiritual world. There is no real knowing, or you know where I'm going. But the four cups is a cup, so there's that Cancerian kind of energy, right? That's the end of the month, the new moon. It is about maybe being a little bit more internal, you know. I mean, we've had that with Mercury retrograde, but it's different. The cups are about, really, as I said, just being more in touch purposefully with our emotions and our heart, and you know, the things that we love and the things that make us feel love and want to give love. And that's what Cancer does. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So Pisces, we did have, you know, Jupiter in the sign of Pisces, and Neptune is still in Pisces. So it's imagination, it's creativity, it's normally in the Rider-Waite-Smith rendition, this would be not feeling 100% like things are where you want them to be yet. Well, I can understand that if you've had delays like I've spoken of, but trust me, you're going to want to take a deep breath and say, it's all happening, and believe it, and use those mantras. Remember how you're feeling, remember how you're thinking, because you're bringing that out into the universe, and that's what you get back. But it's understandable. We all have our ups and down feelings. Just don't hang on to them, please, for very long, because there's beautiful, wonderful things happening for you. And I know you know that. I think you can fully appreciate that. It's just a reminder. You know, this isn't set in stone. Now, I did want to say earlier, and I'd forgotten, this is for Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Rising, and, you know, Venus, Aries. But do check your other placements that may be a different sign in your Moon and your Ascendant, because it makes a lot of sense. Like you may have, you know, this cups, you're just resonating because even though you're in a fire sign, you've got this very sentimental part to you that maybe not everybody sees, but it's very much in there. That teddy bear marshmallow kind of thing, you know. But you're contemplating. It's really about contemplation, I think, more than anything. And I think that's what a lot of water signs are about. And they feel and they sense and they just observe a lot of times because they're very in tune with their surroundings and the energies of things and people. So that's coming to, and I think maybe, of course, the Scorpio energies is very powerful, and you're probably still resonating with that. Something very important and sexual, and 8th house is other people's money, partnerships, life, death, rebirth, phoenix rising from the ashes kind of thing. It's a lot. You're feeling it. And the third week is, what is the third week? Oh my gosh, I love this deck. I hadn't used it in a while. It's the 5 of Wands. Let me make sure, because I'm not seeing that well without my glasses. I want to. Nope, 5 of Cups. You've gone from the 4 to the 5. Wow. Actually, you know what? The 4 of Cups is when, you know, Spirit wants you to see something, and I'm seeing now with this beautiful deck, and I hope you can see it. You've got the 3 Cups here, but they're really like those, oh, I don't know. I used to go to Cost Plus a lot as a child. They're almost like a mask that's, you know, you can buy, and or a totem, and there's a totem looking straight at this person, and he's saying, look at me, look at what you've got, look at what you have to be grateful for, you know, even if it's just the universe looking and speaking to you, because the universe is here working with you and conspiring with you, helping you to manifest your wildest, best dreams possible. Jupiter, hello, Mars, pushing it forward even more. Yeah, so that's the 4, but the 5 is where there's 3 cups down and 2 cups up. So you're thinking, oh, I've lost this. I have to say goodbye to that. I maybe literally lost somebody, and you're grieving and you're feeling it. This, once again, I'll keep bringing it back, but it's still very much in our energies, all of us on a global way, of this Scorpio energy of just like, I really need to sort through and keep it moving, because in the back is the beautiful sun and recognition of just incredible times ahead. We are going to be approaching summer on the 21st, which is the summer solstice, when it actually becomes Cancer season, and that's a beautiful time to celebrate, you know, and to just recognize how much we have, how much we can be, putting forth everything we can with that Mars and Jupiter, you know, in your sign, and knowing it's all going to be better than you could have imagined. That's what I see for this. Now, you've already got 2 cups, but the last week would be that new moon, and you want to write down your intentions, Aries, for the new moon, because that starts those beginnings, and it could just be incredibly romantic. It could be just really getting in touch with people you haven't, that maybe you had a little bit of a distance with for whatever reasons, and wanting to rectify that. That's what I'm really feeling. There's something here where you just want to, you can go on, you know, you make things, you don't really belabor anything, and you don't, generally, I've not known Aries to hold grudges. You're like, okay, now what do we do? What's next? You know, yes, that happened and it hurt and it's sad. What do I do next? Let's keep it moving. Like a child, just a beautiful, you know, they have a tantrum and then they're just like, okay, I'm ready now. What are we doing? You know, it's just, I love it, you know, and I think it's really important, but let's see what the last week will bring for you, because it's, ooh, Two of Pentacles. Okay. So you have the Four of Pentacles, where you were like, I don't want to necessarily go crazy, even on a vacation or something, because it's been a little slower than I was hoping during the Mercury retrograde with my clients or income or what have you. And then you've got the Two of Pentacles. You've got it under control. You are balancing. There's that Libra powerful, you know, connection to you. Keep it balanced. Just don't go overboard, and everything will be great. Your health, your well-being, your relationships, your partnerships could represent two. You've got this. I love the illustrations. This is an amazing deck, and it's just this thing of, whoa, that emperor, that I'm in charge, I can do this, man. And in the meantime, get a little exercise, raising those pentacles. You know, have fun. You know, it's absolutely just being aware and trying to stay grounded, and like I said, not to the point of scarcity, but just sensibility. Okay, because things are going to continue to build, and this will all be in the rear view mirror as far as messages go. But I like that. This is interesting, and I think it shows that you've got what it tells me is you've been very influenced by both this Taurus energy and kind of keeping your mind right about, you know, how important it is to kind of just maybe just be more regimented about stuff, and maybe not be so willing to share. And I know how you are. You'll pay all the bill at a, you know, restaurant. Oh, give it to me, you know, I'll do it. That may still happen, but maybe less. And that's okay. And then the Two Cups of, you know, this depth that happens with this Scorpio energy from the full moon, shining a light on the things that external wise, maybe I can act as though things are fine. And I know we all can do that. We can just accept stuff, right? But internally, there's something that's really touching your heart, you know, your heartstrings, your emotions. And I'm glad to see it, because, you know, we all have them, and it's okay to be vulnerable. You know how people love that. It's super important to be like that. It makes people feel like, oh yeah, they aren't perfect. They get it, you know, none of us are. So I like that, and that's what I'm feeling about that. I see incredible, like I said, with the energy of Jupiter and Mars, there's no stopping you, okay? It can be phenomenal, but I think you're going to be pretty much past the maybe over sentimentality, certainly by the new moon in Cancer. It'll still have that heartfelt energy, but it won't be because you're thinking, oh, maybe I should have, would have, could have. Yeah, nobody wants that. And I'm going to, no, you know what? I'm going to actually pull, like I said I would, a couple of clarity cards. Let me use my, oh, what the heck, I'll just use this Guild deck. I haven't used this in so long either, the Guild Tarot. See what's happening. And let's place it on, if we can, let's do it on the Four of, to start, the Four of Pentacles, because like I said, that could mean that you have a little bit of concern and you just want to get out of the mentality of thinking, I don't have enough, or, you know, I have to be concerned, because if you're thinking that way, you know, it can lead to that. And we don't want that. So it's not in your nature, really. So what do we have following that? I mean, it's not a bad idea to be sensible. I'm not trying to say that, you know. I'm just reading the energies, but, ooh, 9 Nine of Cups. So right now you're being a little more pensive. You're like, okay, I'm going to keep my eye on the prize. I'm just going to kind of take it a little slow until this Mercury retrograde, allows me to really just build up the momentum in a more organic, natural way. And the Nine of Cups is absolute wishes fulfilled, baby. Almost the 10, which is the ultimate. And the word that's associated with this is content. Because you're not a slouch. You do make efforts. You work hard. You're not going to stop, when it's 5 o'clock. If something needs to be done, and most of the time you probably own your own business. I'm not going to lie. You're entrepreneurial from the get-go. You're the pioneer that starts a lot of things. Once again, the first sign of the zodiac, you represent spring, the first season of the year. It's really wonderful. And this is what you really... And it's a cup, so emotionally you're going to be very satisfied once you get rid of any of the thoughts thinking, well, that made me sad. But like I said, in your true fashion, I need to keep it moving and move towards what I really want and focus on that. Okay, so I love that. Now let's go to the, Four of Cups, the kind of, what am I not seeing? Am I paying attention? Am I listening to my gut? Am I listening to my higher self? And you have Temperance. Okay, I made that very clear, that number 14, which is 1 plus 4 is a 5. 5 is working through challenges. May would have been more challenging, I think, for a lot of us. That was the 5th month. 6 is the sign, the number and energy of Venus. So there's more compassion and love and just kind of beauty and fun and money, entering in our relationships. Temperance is the card that represents, of course, so very synchronistic, Sagittarius. And that's the full moon. So there's that fire at the bottom, just kind of keeping you going, but knowing the Temperance is more like alchemy, where we can change water to wine, and we can make things happen, we can manifest exactly what we believe, and quickly at times, like to the point of like, whoa, I thought that and there it was. That's what's happening more and more, by the way, in our lives. When we go into the different, elements, we're in the 3D, it goes into 4, 5, 6, and it's just a question of person looking, and you know what you're thinking, and it's phenomenal, and it's so beautiful and magical, and I love it, and I welcome that. And you've got the rainbow, and that's because you allow that to just happen, and you want to welcome that. And be careful and, like I said, balanced all the while, okay? Your health is essential. I don't see or recognize anything saying that the health wouldn't be bad, but always you need to be aware of it and be safe. And then let us do one for the 4 of Cups. Whoops, this fell out. 8, man. Woo! Speed. That's all about it. That's the word. 8 is the most abundant and affluent and, just prosperous number in the numerology scale of 1 to 9, because 10 becomes you take away the 0, it's the 1 again. Well, have no fear, my dear, because as I said, the Mars will bring in the speed too. The change of the Mercury retrograde direct will bring in speed. And sometimes even faster than you can imagine. Like very quickly, answers are completed, destinations are being reached. And, so if you're feeling like, this was lost and I've got 2 cups, I've got to remember that there's always something positive in my life, and that it is true, but that more and more of that positivity is going to come into your life. Straight up, simple as can be. Absolutely beautiful. And let's just do the last one, just because. The 2 of Pentacles. Having to make sure, you keep that balance in there. You got it, but it's like, could it be more? Could it be more than the 2? Let's see what the cards have to say for you. The Hangman. Okay. Well, I think we all have been in the Hangman mode. Hangman is actually a beautiful thing. It's really our higher power. It's about different perspective. It's the tree of life, and grounding ourselves once again with that Taurus energy and influence, and just seeing things in a more calmer, more spiritual light, There's a glow, there's a peacefulness here. Knowing you're on the right track, you're on the right path, the balance is there, just what you need. You wouldn't necessarily be able to hang like this if there wasn't balance. But it also represents Pisces, and Pisces was, in fact, like I said, and it remains the sign just before you, because it's the 12th sign and you're the first. And you're in tune with that, and you kind of really want to just take on that energy, I think, especially with Neptune in the sign where you, which will be going into retrograde, and so will Saturn. I'm sorry, I did want to mention that. This is a major arcana. This is to make sure that you are aware of your capabilities and your intuition and your highest power that's always being fed and downloaded information, possibly through dreams. I asked last night, which I do fairly often, I would like to know precisely what my dream is about upon awakening. And then I'll grab my log and I'll do my best to write it down. And I remembered so much more today. And it really made a lot of sense. And it did have to do with people in my life that I haven't necessarily been in touch with, and so on and so forth. But it's not about me. I'm just bringing to the fact that there's could be major insights and downloads in your dreams. So do be aware and keep that in mind, or talk into your phone really quickly. Sometimes as soon as you open your eyes, the memories can dissipate, you know. But I really, really like this. So just contemplating and just allowing the information to come in about the best way to expand and grow with this beautiful Jupiter energy, which is all about the expansion of your life. So I like that a lot. Now I'm going to finish by pulling a, first I'm going to read your Super Attractor Manifestation message. This is the mantra of the month. This is your, upward and onward and beautiful, positive way to look at life. It never hurts to talk and think in these ways. Oh. I have to laugh. Remember, I have an Aries moon. I am patient. This is not something you normally hear about with Aries, and it's okay. I love you. I do. My dad was an Aries. Knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. But I laugh too, because this is about patience. Just knowing it's going to happen. I'm going to just trust the process. One of my favorite sayings, trust the process. And that's exactly what's going on. You got the red rose in the center, representing love. And here's the red, the power that you exude and the energy that comes from the color red. And I know a lot of Aries look amazing in red. And fire signs in general. There it is. And by the way, there's a definite Venetian energy, as like with the Empress and the planting of the seeds, literally or figuratively or otherwise, maybe deciding on a child, and that would be your wishes fulfilled. Maybe think I'm really, really happy with this Four of Cups, and I know I've lost people in my life, but I'd love to bring more people into my life and my family, and that could very well be a part of it. It's a very fertile time with Venus and whatnot in the mix. So I feel a lot of release, but I also feel a lot of gain. And I think it's a wonderful time, and I know it's a wonderful time, and I know you're probably already feeling it. You don't even need to hear me say it, but I like to share that with you. So I will finish with your rune. I will pick one rune from this beautiful velveteen bag of mine. I was happy yesterday because I'm trying to memorize them with my beautiful flashcards here, so I can just do it verbatim without knowing, overlooking. But for now, I'm not there, and I was able to remember what the letter represented yesterday. Yay, from the symbol. And today we have, this is a beautiful amethyst, and it's just part of the grain of the crystal. And remember, amethyst is about warding away, psychic or negative energy, really. It's a healing energy. It's about your third eye and your knowing, your all-knowing, the I am. And it looks like a Z to me. It always kind of has like Zorro. Nothing is really coming through except possibly ing, ing, and let's just see where we're going with this. That's just what Spirit told me. Let's see how accurate that is. But if not, alas, I hope at some point in time after continually doing it, like, you know, flashcards help you with, it will come to my memory and I will know it without any effort whatsoever. And I don't know when that'll come, but I do trust in that. That's a big part of it, right? So, what do we got here? Where is it? Where is it? The last one? Possibly. Nope, nope, nope. Here it is. Oh, it's an S. Now, see, to me, this doesn't look like an S, but it could. Zorro is a Z, but it could look like an S. Okay. I'll buy that. I'm going to do my best to remember the Z that I'm thinking is a Z is actually an S. Putting that back there. Let me read to you what it says specifically. See if it's, you know, congruent with your reading. We have pronunciation. Whoa, sorry. Sowilo. Rune number 16, 1 plus 6, 7. That is a very spiritual and heavenly based number for many reasons. Oh, and the theme is sun. Sun is one of the most incredibly powerful and beautiful, beautiful positive energies of the Tarot deck. Wholeness, in parentheses. Keywords, empowerment, energy, we've already spoken of that quite a bit. Well-being, life force, victory, guiding light. It's on you now, Aries, every one of you. Magical working, achieving success, increased spiritual will. Also the Piscean energy, very spiritual, coming through, 12th house, subconscious. Celebration of life, health and abundance. Health and abundance. Key phrases, open yourself to the power, sunshine on your path. All is well, enjoy life, dancing in the light, bask in the warmth of the sun. And boy, it's going to get warmer in Northern America. I know this, and I'm already noticing it and have. The gods are smiling on you. The season of growth, energy at its maximum strength with Mars in your sign. Your ruling planet. This is absolutely pie perfect. It's what I call the cherry on the sundae to end the readings. And it's notoriously very, very right on. And I appreciate Spirit for doing that. And the wisdom of the oracles. So that is the month. And, you know, if you don't feel it right away, just give it some time. And like I said, check your other placements. Do me a favor, though, if you've come this far in this reading, do like, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. I do this out of the goodness of my heart. I've done it for years. And I'm not going to stop anytime soon. Do I want to grow the channel? Absolutely. And YouTube will continue to share it and allow me to do so. And it's a very simple but loving and kind supportive gesture. Thank you to everyone who has. Like I said, share it. Push the notification bell to let you know when I've uploaded. And we're in, man. I wish you the best. It sounds like it's going to be pretty phenomenally fun and exciting and emotional. So hopefully you'll come back for July because I'll be here. Take good care. Until next time, thank you and bye for now.